If Prof Entry thinks you are doing well, he will not just hand it out to you. He also wants to, test your guts. Yeah, you want to see whether you are a shakable type or you stick to your principles. This is very confidence is everything. As a doctor, you need to be very confident. You don't need to be swayed by intimidation, that kind of thing, especially if you know what you're doing. So that's Prof Entry. If you have spoken to me, I would have told you, Prof Entry, know your stuff, or he knows his stuff. And stick to your guns if you're on the right path and trying to convince him, and he'll let you pass. He's quite a sharp guy. He has his track record of academic success impeccable. Yeah. So that's that kind of aspect of med school. Academics was always the thing. I mean, we have a whole line of people waiting for you to finish and come and break bread and also give them bread. So you had no business, wasting time. 7 years. I also did 7 years. Our time was 7 years. Now it's 6 years. 7 years was even long for those who are not even paying your fees. Those who are not contributing a pin to your fees felt like, who goes to school for 7 years? And some even doubted that you were in school at all. When you came on vacation, some were wondering, are you sure it's in university or that kind of thing? Stupid talk. But my father, who was paying my fees, was very patient with me and said, 7 years, it won't take too long. Yeah. Completed in 2008, now it's 2020, can you imagine? See? So it's tough. I don't know how it is for each year group, but I think it's hard to tell, because sometimes some people feel like their time med school was hip and now it's dilute or whatever. But I think each year has its own unique challenges. And possibly if I went back to med school today, I still wouldn't have it easy, because new ideas are coming, course content is changing. You never know. So somebody said that even if you meet a bad doctor, respect him because he has passed his exams. And Ghana med school exams is something to behold. You always remember. All right. So let's change a little bit. Let's talk about your interests, music, food. What interests you? Music and hobbies. What do you do apart from putting a stethoscope around your neck and wearing a white coat?
Well, I also play FIFA. Guys, to relate better with your friends, you have to be good at FIFA.
Okay.
So I play FIFA with my friends, my brother especially.
All right.
Then music, well, I listen to hip hop, live, some gospel.
What is your favorite hip hop?
Hip hop. Oh, Jay-Z, Eminem, they are cool. I like Eminem. I like Eminem.
I like Kendrick. Have you heard of Kendrick's songs? Kendrick Lamar. The guy is hot. Try and listen to some of his tracks. Rigor Mortis, Black Friday. There's one track, L.O.V.E. Love. The guy can flow. He's really, really in a different era. Eminem, the wordsmith, internal rhyming. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool, but sometimes I do fatigue listening to his tracks. There are some tracks you can listen on and on and on. But Eminem's track is like it's like an overdose of literary work that can saturate you. That's to me for some time, and beyond that time, I wouldn't want to listen to it for that. And then you can bring it up again and listen to it. But like if you look at Jay-Z, his old albums and the Blueprint and all these things, it's still relevant today. It's a banger. If you drop it today, people will still jump around. I want to take anything from Eminem, but when it comes to music, sometimes certain lyrics, certain constructs of the song, you can relate to it for a long period, a longer period. So that just. How about food?
Food, well.
In med school, how are you fixing meals under 5 minutes?
Well, I cook.
I was a cooking type too, yeah. What was your favorite?
Banku with okra stew.
Oh! Which you were cooking or somebody was cooking for you to store in your fridge?
I was cooking the actual myself. Yeah. Occasionally I would have one or two beloveds.
And then you, in exchange, you teach.
Of course.
Yeah, you never know.
The age.
Yeah. The devil has no free gift. Yeah. 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 These things do happen once in a while. But if you don't really commit, they won't cook again. That consistency must be there. So what food could you fix in under 10 minutes flat?
In under 10 minutes.
Oh.
Under 10 minutes. Oh, guys, so far as the rice cooker is readily available, well,
just throw it in.
Yeah.
What did you access SSNIT loan in my school?
Oh no.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're lucky. We access SSNIT loan. You have to get 3 guarantors to be able to access SSNIT loan. And back in pre-clinical days, if the SSNIT loan dropped, right, and those of you who don't know about SSNIT loan, this is a loan facility you could access. It's a student's loan that to support you, maybe buy a books, photocopy here and there. It came in tranches. I think each semester you had, I think those, why did they start from? Was it 25 CDs?
Oh.
Small figure, way back then.
But that was quite significant.
It was, it was okay. It wasn't like heaven, but it would get you through maybe 2-3 months of,
And that's cool.
Yeah. And that was the time. Let me even go back a little bit. When we went to med school, we had university, we had something called the Great October Rush. The Great October Rush was when the first years would come around October. So those are the time you could go look for new girls with your SSNIT loan, and then somehow they will, finish it and hang you off to dry. So Great October Rush could clean you out, and then people could. Those are the time we also introduced to fried rice. Fried rice was not so common. It was quite popular in pre-clinical days. First year, second year, I mean, this concept of fried rice, we never knew, and somehow fried rice here, fried rice there. But when the loan dropped, that was when you could taste fried rice and chill. It was big deal then. Yes. If you, they had this funny song. Did you have terms like that? Inter and exter. Inter is like internal girlfriend. Yeah. And your exter was like if you had a girlfriend before coming to school. Yeah. So there was this song, Inter baby fried rice, Inter benumta people, Ulu na say. I don't know if you heard that song.
No.
Oh yeah. So like when we went on is it demonstration? We call it processions. Did you have things like processions? Yeah, I mean, hall activity on campus was a big deal. I was in Unity Hall.
Oh, okay.
We were always like at loggerheads with cats. Yeah, University Hall, Katanga. So you go on process, and sometimes people got injured. I mean, for real, people got injured because of scaffolds with cats. And Unity Hall was more like closer to Africa, and so sometimes you go to Africa and they are all cheers for you, and the cat guys will find a way to come and mess up the process. And it was horrible, yeah. But that was life on campus, So on campus it was way interesting. I don't know if it's still interesting now. We have process, we have the whole week activities, which was fun. You hosted artists who could come perform. I remember this guy who was big deal in Big Brother. What was his name? Sami or whatever. I've forgotten his name. We hosted some guys, some interesting guys who came, performed, and I mean, campus was there was always something going on. One whole week, the whole week. Departmental weeks and rep your school, MSA activities and all that. Yeah, tell me about your life, UDS, your community. What do you call it?
Yeah, TTFPP. Yeah, TTFPP.
TTFPP. What's the full?
The third trimester, something. I've forgotten.
Yeah,
but
right.
that was when they would actually send you out to their communities. They believe the university was built for the students to serve the communities.
All right.
So ours was actually in trimesters.
Okay.
So you go for the first academic activities in the first and the second trimester, and the third you'd have to go to the communities to serve the indigents. So first year we joined the other group of students. I mean, those doing economics, those doing fashion, agriculture, and others. And they would send you to remote areas, I mean very remote areas where
the northern region.
Yeah, the north, some to upper east, some to upper west. So they would distribute you among all the three northern regions. Then occasionally you get to the Brown Afro region.
So how many people in a team?
In a team, actually, my place were like 12, like 7 guys and 5 ladies. But ideally, before you go to the communities, they're actually supposed to communicate with the chief, the assemblyman over there, so that they could probably get a nice place to accommodate you guys. Okay. But then, one way or the other, it looks like they hadn't done that for my community. So they just dropped us off to the community, and that was just it.
That's happened.
You are supposed to look for a place of your own somewhere. I mean, one of the indigents, go beg them for a place to sleep. If you are so unlucky, Charlie, they will give you classrooms or probably some church somewhere.
As a med student.
As a med student, it was quite terrible. I remember we lost one of our mates who was a sickle cell patient. I think he had some crisis.
That's horrible.
It was so terrible.
Did the school make any amends?
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure they did. But then I think it was.
Well, I think if it's well organized, yes. I mean, it serves a very useful purpose. But safety first.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Well, the north is a very tough place to navigate, and if you just throw yourself out in the communities without adequate preparations, I mean, for instance, if you had, let's say, training in camping in the outdoors, camp equipment, tents, stuff like that, you could still have a good time.
Yeah.
And be relevant to the society. But to go sleep in classrooms and those places, I mean, it's not safe.
Yeah.
For the very people who are even in the community, it's not safe for them. How much more you who has not been exposed to the elements? Yeah. How do you survive in a place like that? So I mean, I think that's quite unfortunate. But it was interesting, I guess.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Challenging.
Quite interesting. Yeah.
6 weeks, eh?
6 weeks, yeah. Amidst the challenges, it was quite interesting. Relating with some of your colleagues from other campuses. Ours was actually in separate campuses. Some were at Navrongo, some at Wa, and some in Tamale.
All right. So it's something that makes UDS quite unique.
Yeah.
KNUST, SMS, what did we have? It was a medical week. And there was one week we went to the some pre-arranged regime to spend about a week giving health talks. And it had its own challenges. The district director of health service would have been informed ahead of time that we are coming. And this time we just didn't understand how poorly financed some of these districts were, So you go You're expected to be well hosted and fed and that kind of thing. And we had challenges. There was a place like we went, Apam, very challenging environment. There were some places you went and it looks like they didn't want you. Oh yeah,
True.
yeah. They wanted your services, but not your other needs. They didn't want. And you find yourself in places where food was an issue, accommodation. Yeah, but we hustled and we survived most of the time. And for me, I was the outdoor type. I always wanted to go out and do something, touch people, reach out. I wanted a doctor experience. So for each week, each MSA week that we had, that's health district health outreach. I never missed it. I always wanted to be out there. I was quite into always wanting to play the doctor thing, getting to listen to people's complaints and interacting. That was it. Yeah. So I think it's been quite involving. For sometimes people don't really know this. They think med school is all about how you appear, well dressed, tie, sleeves, and lab coats and studs around your neck. I sometimes want people to know these stories and the challenges where we go through. What was the most challenging moment for you, apart from maybe those? Is that you threw once, or nearly?
Nearly. Yeah.
Okay, then I think for me, those 2 times that I threw my papers was quite challenging. It was quite tough, and also financially too, it wasn't quite easy. Because my father being a teacher, it was a little bit difficult. Yes, you pay the fees, but sometimes, most of the time, there were some challenges. So to go through med school without enough money on you can be tough. Yes, for those of you who are out there, med students don't necessarily come from rich backgrounds. Yeah. Our backgrounds do vary. Some come from very humble homes, some come from average homes, others are lucky to be coming from very good homes, like the middle class. And so it's not always rosy. But the good thing is that by the time you are done, all of us somehow depend on government salary, or if let's say you're in private, your employer to put money in your account so that you can thrive. None of us somehow is living off the legacy of our parents. Everybody, well, that's what I think. But most people are hard-working individuals, just like anyone else, and so that's what makes it somehow it evens the playing field a little. And then the kind of value you add to yourself, postgraduate education, skills acquisition, further reading, all these things go to sort of make you more and more, in a sense, complete. So I think with regards to, so I just want to look into the camera and then speak to people who want to take up this profession, and just let them know what goes into it and how to go about it. Maybe somebody wanted to be a doctor, 101, A, B, C. What should the person do? Speak to somebody in DSS who wants to be a doctor. Now it's called junior high.
Yeah. Well, the few pieces of advice I would give to the young lads out there who would want to be medical practitioners.